All right, good evening, everybody. Today is September 9th. It's the monthly meeting of the planning board. Before we get started, I want to just say something. On the 25th of August, the town of Millis lost one of its biggest supporters. Kathy McGinnis had been involved with improving the town of Millis through her efforts in the select board, planning board, finance committee, cemetery committee, along with volunteering for many other efforts. Kathy spent many long hours working through the details of the projects that she was involved with. She would know the ins and the outs of the entire process. When you saw Kathy approaching the podium to speak, and she was holding her yellow legal pad, you knew that you'd have your work cut out for you, because she'd ask all the hard questions. I always appreciated her direct and sometimes blunt approach. There were many lessons learned by our interactions on the planning board, and the same sentiment was echoed by the former planning board chair. When Kathy was involved, you knew that the result of the discussion would end up being for the best option for the town of Millis. She was actually working on a list of questions for a meeting the night that she actually passed away. I personally will miss her enthusiasm and professionalism. So I don't know if any of the other board wants to say anything, but just wanted to start off with that.
So if I could, Mr. Chair, I want to thank everyone for their comments on behalf of Steve. And most importantly, how people have remembered Kathy being prepared. As much as, like you say, that, when she got up there with the yellow pad, her legal pad that she wrote everything down on, you knew that she was sitting home hours preparing for what she was going to talk about. And I remember the first time I met her, it was in this room. It was different tables, when we had the tables with the tablecloths on it. And I was being, the town administrator at that time said that, there's an opening, an associate member on the planning board, and being in the position I was in, they felt it would be best that I apply for it. And I did, and I came in and there was papers everywhere on the table. And I learned that that was Kathy's MO, that any time that she was going to any meeting, she was prepared, right up until on Wednesdays, when she was now up with the last position she held was on the finance committee. She would be sitting in in room 206 with all the papers for that meeting for that night, hours and hours before anybody came to the meetings. And she did that for the enterprise funds, everything that she prepared herself. And I'm glad everybody, you mentioned it, they mentioned it last night, how she knew what she was talking about, and she made Millis a much better place for all of us that we live in today.
Mr. Chair? I just want to, Kathy and I didn't always see eye to eye. She welcomed me onto the planning board my first day and helped me greatly when I first got on. We did have different opinions on some things, but Kathy's heart was for this town, and the taxpayers and the residents of this town have lost a huge advocate. Because whether you agreed with her position or not, everything she did for this town, she put the town first. And it always came from her heart, and she did exactly what she thought was best for the town, for the growth, to grow this town, but to keep it the same small community that it is.
All right, well, with that, let's see if we could all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well, first item on the agenda is accessory dwelling unit bylaw amendments public hearing. So if you could open the public hearing.
Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board, notice of public hearing. The Town of Millis Planning Board will hold a public hearing pursuant to General Law, Chapter 48, Section 5, on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, in the Veterans Memorial Building, Room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, Mass., at 7:30 p.m. The purpose of the public hearing is to provide interested parties with an opportunity to comment on Article, Proposed Amendments to the Town of Millis Zoning Bylaws, Section 5, Use Regulations H, with respect to accessory dwelling units, by amending Section B, Dimensional Requirements 2 and 3, Section C, Parking 1, and Section E, Relationship to Nonconformities, or to take any other action relative thereto. The proposed amendment seeks to address changes to Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, and the state's regulations governing the construction and use of accessory dwelling units, also known as ADUs. The complete text of the proposed amendment is on file with the Office of the Town Clerk in the Veterans Memorial Building, 900 Main Street, Millis, Mass., and is available for inspection during regular business hours, and is also posted to the Planning Board's webpage. These changes will appear as an article in the warrant at town meeting. Richard Nichols, Chair.
All right, so we did a ADU bylaw, and basically the ADU is additional units that can be built on people's property by right. The state changed that law, and hopefully they were hoping to make more affordable housing available. So we submitted a bylaw for the town of Millis using language that had been provided by town council. We had made a few modifications to it, and we had to send it to the state. The state sent it back with corrections that we need to make it match the state requirements. So basically on it, they had some wording changes. We had the ADUs listed as, coverage requirements for single-family homes. We had to change that to single dwelling units. That was one of the changes we had to make. And let's see, the other one was to do with how we handled if there were any reviews by the planning board. So they wouldn't allow us to do a special permit, but we were allowed to do a finding. So anyhow, we need to go back and go to town meeting and make these changes in the wording so we comply with the state's requirements for the ADU. So that's the long and the short of it is, it's a whole bunch of back and forth with Camille, town council, and the state to get these nailed down. So I don't know if there's any questions from the board? All right, so,
Actually, I
go
do have a
ahead.
question.
Yep.
Looking at D, the site plan review, what we're able to review, we're not able to review whether the square footage, the area of the building is conforming or not?
we would be able to review like setbacks. The area would be by the building commissioner.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be, that wouldn't be in our purview, but basically, we'd be able to, we'd have minimal to make sure that it was, it fit on the site, and it wasn't, wasn't gonna be obtrusive to the neighborhood, or in a goofy place.
But if it was 55% of the gross floor area of the main unit, we're not able to,
Yeah, we're
To
limited,
cite that.
we're limited in what we can do on
Okay.
this, is they've really limited any oversight by the town. So we are minimally allowed to do some feedback on it, so. Go ahead, Jim.
So, just a quick question, I probably should have asked this when town council was here going over this. The addresses for these ADUs,
Yeah,
how do we determine, and is that gonna be part of this, or is that gonna be unfortunately dumped on Camille to? That's what I was waiting for her to
yeah, we
answer.
just went through that today, as a matter of fact, so here you go.
There's a whole process, and I had emailed the Millis postmaster about a month or so ago, and he got information from the Massachusetts Post General, whoever it is, and they sent a bunch of information and a chart of what they recommend. So the planning board does assign street numbers, street addresses, so I'm assuming that that will remain. But I would like to send all that information out to the fire chief, the police chief, so that everybody's on the same page, so that when we start doing the addresses, we're consistent in the format that we do. And we still need a map and parcel number from the assessor's office in order to give that an address.
We need the map and parcel
Yes,
from the assessor, and then, I think you just said it, but maybe I didn't hear it. You stated that when you get the map and parcel, is from what you get from the post office, that's what will determine what the street number is?
well, no, they gave suggestions. I or the planning board will have to assign
Okay.
a number, an address, a street address, and then the planning board prepares a memo to the police, fire,
You always
GIS.
get them, which you
Yeah,
always do.
everybody that, any new street address references a map and parcel and the street address, and a memo goes out to all different departments, state and local.
Because this is gonna be a lot more.
Yeah,
Yes.
so what they did on that, Jim, is I saw the thing, which we should have shared, actually, we got it today, at like the afternoon. We might have, yeah, anyhow, but they'll have like say it's, say it's Pleasant Street and it's, 201. It would be, 201 and it could be, AD, or it could be 20, we could set the designation, so then if, somebody calls it in to police or fire, they know, hey, it's 201 AD, oh, it's the additional dwelling, but, we can set that part, but it is gonna be set by, the suggestions is if it's off of the main house number, obviously, so.
If I could just add to, it depends on if it's attached or detached.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have a different scheme that they want to follow, so it's,
But that answers my question, that something's being done and looked at, so thank you.
Yeah.
That's-
So-
In Medfield, they've, the
Here.
different ADUs.
Talking to
Yeah,
the, into the thing, Mike.
In Medfield, they're using a different number. So if it's 200, the next one's going, the ADU is going to be 201, if detached.
Yeah,
But then in that other places, you use an A and B.
right. I think on that one, internally between the police and fire, I think, in the town administrator, we'll have to decide, hey, what's Millis doing? But I think, we have to make it consistent, and like Camille said, one of the options is, it could be 201, and it could be, D for detached or A attached, then they know if there's an emergency, what are you looking for? Because really, that's what the whole thing with the street number is usually for public safety, plus so they can get their mail there. But, yeah, it's all new and different. We'll figure it out.
Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
did I understand you, there's going to be a different map and parcel number for the accessory dwelling unit?
there may have to be like AF, it could be like, that's why we have to sit down with the assessor's office, the fire, police, everybody has to kind of be on the same page, but to assign a new address, typically it has to reference a map and parcel, and I don't think one address can, or two addresses can reference one map and parcel, so there will have to be some type of identifying factor.
That's good.
Yep.
And just so everyone at home knows, we're literally, because this just came on board, we're literally figuring it out as we go, so.
We have time, that's good though. I mean,
Yep.
it's-
All right, were there any other comments from the board? Oh, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to make the one statement that the original bylaw that we received, that we put forth at town meeting, at the last town meeting, was based on town council's recommendations. The parts that were not approved by the Attorney General's office has been not approved in multiple towns. So it wasn't just that Millis made a mistake. It was the way our bylaw was written for a lot of communities based upon the laws as it was written, and then the state made some changes. So by the time everybody passed their bylaws and was submitting them to the AGs for approval, all of these things have changed. Just so
Right.
it wasn't on Millis, it was actually multiple communities
Yeah,
that
it
were faced
wasn't-
with
yeah,
these
we-
exact same changes.
We didn't make a mistake. We took the information that we had at the time, so did town council.
Right.
We tried to tailor it a little bit towards Millis, and, they review all of the decisions, and they're, trying to get it so it's a uniform, uniformly enforced across the state, so. All right, were there any comments from the audience? All right, with that, I make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and then I make a motion that we present the changes to the select board for a town.
We've already done that.
Okay.
To make a motion to recommend these changes, add these amendments as a warrant article.
All right, so I guess we'd already done that step. So I make a motion that we recommend these changes or amendments as a warrant article for a town meeting.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, good. Made it through that? We survived? All right, next item on the agenda, and we are on schedule. Special permit with site plan approval, public hearing for 36 Meadow Cartway.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself.
Yep, thank you.
Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board notice of public hearing. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 48, Section 11, Mass General Law, the Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, at 7:35 PM in the Veterans Memorial Building, Room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application of John Tresca, Meadow Cartway 36 Realty Trust, 36 Meadow Cartway, Millis, Mass., requesting a special permit for with site plan approval under Section 13C and Section 5H, accessory dwelling units, of the zoning bylaw of the town of Millis to include an ADU in a previously approved reconstruction of an existing non-conforming residence for property located at 36 Meadow Cartway, map 27, parcel 22, Millis, Mass. Copy of the application and site plan is on file in the office of the town clerk and can be viewed at the planning board's website. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the application should appear at the time and place designated. Richard Nichols, Chair.
All right, and presenting this for the applicant would be,
Wayne Carlson?
okay,
And myself.
and Mike Giampedro. All right,
I'll take it first, Wayne.
Okay.
Good evening. I represent Tresca Brothers as a code consultant and helping them with the permitting process. As you can see, the application was for a special permit. At the time when we applied for it from the last planning board meeting, we thought that it would be required. So now with the revisions, a special permit is not required, so we'd like to change our application just to a site plan review.
one comment on that. We did look at, with town council, and the one thing that we could look at it is for site review would be the only thing.
Site plan
Just-
review, right.
Correct. So that, just to be clear, we could say, hey, listen, we want to look at the site, but we haven't got to that point yet. So-
Right, so
Yeah.
the application is just for site plan review.
Right.
And I'll turn it over to Wayne.
Yeah.
The application before you is very straightforward. We feel we meet all the rules and regulations that you've required. Just a point of information, several months ago, the ZBA did approve this relocation of the house, getting it out of the floodplain into an area which is out of it. The ADU will fit right beside it. It does represent 50% or not greater than 900 square feet. There's parking for 2 vehicles, and the site's larger anyway. There'll certainly be able to get more in there. If there's any questions in particular, I'll try to answer them for you.
Well, just one comment, and just so everybody knows, I get the bum seat here, and I'm sinking down, so I'm basically sitting on the floor, so if you see me jump up. Anyhow, one comment on that was that there were some questions from the police and fire chief on there, and as of access to the road. And the question was that there was the one way that there is cut off from emergency response due to trees blocking the access, that they'd have to access through the Tresca plant. And they were wondering if they're going to improve the roadway leading to that as part of this project. And that was a request from the fire chief and the, and knowing, I've been down there before, the road is, it's a cart path. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty much, so, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, Mike Giampedro. The plan is to cut back the Meadow Cartway, and they're gonna have a grader in there to grade that road, because there's a lot of potholes in it. As soon as they bring a machine in there to start digging and getting the stuff, they're gonna clean that whole road out right to 109. So,
Okay.
That's good news for me.
All right, and I looked at it myself, nothing really jumped out at me on, we have very limited oversight on anything anyhow on that. Was there any other questions from the board?
Quick question, you said it's 2 parking spaces. What's the layout of the parking?
It's right here.
I'd like to see it. You go, Wayne.
They're side by side?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I already saw it. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate it. All right, were there any other questions?
No.
And basically, these are the ones that are out in the middle of nowhere, correct, the houses? There's like 3 or 4 of them all back in.
There was
two-
only 2 in that particular
Yeah.
area.
That you have to
The
drive.
road- The
Yeah.
road, although went through years ago, maybe back in I think even back in the 50s, as I recall, you could drive all the way through.
Yeah.
But that's since been stopped.
Yeah.
Because the wetland area and the floodplain really comes in there. So I want to say for the last 40 years, it just went to those 2 houses.
Yeah, no, I drove down there to help drop someone's child off down that lived down there, so I'm familiar. So there's really no neighbor issues down there, just because there's no neighbors.
There are no neighbors.
All right, is there any other comment? No? Okay, so we could, let's see, on this one, we need to close public hearing. So I make a motion to close public hearing.
Second.
All right, motion's been made, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, and with that being said, do we, let's see here, what do we need to do? Make a motion to,
These are the only criteria that you can review. As long as it fits that criteria, you can make a motion to.
Do we have to vote to amend this application, since the
You can.
application was originally for a special permit and now it's for site plan?
Site plan
Yeah,
review.
we
Yep,
could
you
do
can
that.
make
I
a
think we
motion.
should amend the,
okay. And just so the folks at home know, we're walking through this for our first time. It's, so, all right, I agree with you, Nicole. So we would make a motion to modify
grant the
app-
applicant's request.
Yep, we make a
to
motion
modify.
to grant the applicant's request to make this from a special permit to site review.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
I abstain.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, and, so on this one, basically, there's really not anything on the site review that,
I mean, as long as the, Mr. Chair, as long as the fire chief's memo was addressed.
yeah, well, they wanted it paved.
No, we
so-
ain't gonna get it
Right,
paved.
that's, you're right, so that's, that's why I asked the question. So they, basically, they're not gonna pave it. The other question on access is that there's
The gates,
the gates, yeah, so with that,
they're not gonna need the gates.
We could put crushed concrete down.
Yeah, that's
um,
Can we make the site plan approval
with the content.
contingent upon
yeah.
repair of the road and the cutting back of the
Yeah,
trees?
okay, I think that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to make a motion that we approve the site plan with the contingency that the road is to be repaired as per described by the applicant, with the trees being trimmed back and a graded base set up. And can we have it where, can we do it where it's maintained once a year by the applicant? So meaning that the applicant would be required once a year to grade it. I think that's fair enough. Okay, I think that would do it. All right, motion is made, second?
Second. Oh,
Okay, all right.
sorry.
That's all right, go ahead.
No.
All right, motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Abstain.
abstain, okay. All right, so you're all set?
Okay.
Great,
Thank you very
thanks.
Next one.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yep. All right. I thought you were writing a note for, making notes. Yeah. All right, next item on the agenda. Once I find my agenda, because I buried it. There we go, I found it, sorry. Special permit with site plan approval for 13 Environmental Drive, proposed T-Mobile antenna replacement at existing telecommunications tower.
Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board, notice of public hearing. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 48, Section 11, Mass General Law, the Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, at 7:40 PM in the Veterans Memorial Building, Room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application of Dominica Tadashori, I apologize.
It's okay.
Crown Castle USA, Inc., 1800 West Park Drive, Suite 200, Westboro, Mass., requesting a special permit for site plan approval under Section 13C and N of the zoning bylaws of the town of Millis for T-Mobile Northeast LLC to replace 6 antennas, ancillary and ground equipment at existing personal wireless communication facility located at 13 Environmental Drive, Island Road, map 52, parcel 12, Millis, Mass., property owned by Town of Millis. Copy of the application and the site plan is on file in the office of the town clerk and on the planning board's webpage. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the application should appear at the time and place designated. Richard Nichols, Chair.
All right, and
I think I have this kind of peripheral vision.
this is basically, it's a replacement of a antenna on a cell phone tower down near the dump, is what it really comes down to. So if you want to, I know I stole your thunder, but if
That's
you want to
okay.
give us the executive presentation, that would be great.
No worries. Again, I'm Dominica Tadashori with Crown Castle.
Just one second.
Sure.
Hey, fellas, in the back, it just is very distracting. If you guys want to talk, you're more than welcome to, but if you guys, thanks, appreciate it. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm Dominica Tadashori with Crown Castle, and thank you for having me this evening. T-Mobile is an existing carrier at the 149-foot concealment tower located at 13 Environmental Drive. That's located at the westerly intersection of, with Environmental Drive and Island Road, as you said, the transfer station dump. Specifically, T-Mobile has 3 existing antennas at the 145-foot center line, so that's the top position, and also antennas at the 135th center line, the second position. So there's 3 towers at the top at 145 and 3 at the second at 135. Crown Castle owns the tower, and the property is owned by the town with an active lease till July 31, 2029. As you know, telecommunications and equipment upgrades are very common, and desired as technology changes to better provide telecommunications services to residents, businesses, and also first responders. Specifically to this application, T-Mobile is looking to replace the 3 antennas located at the top level with 3 new antennas, so even swap. And then if we go down to the second rad at the 135-foot level, they're looking to also replace those existing 3 antennas with 3 new antennas. So again, even swaps. The existing concealment shroud will not be changed. It will remain as is, not increase in diameter with this scope of work. And there's also no proposed change to tower height or compound size as well. Ancillary equipment associated with this scope of work includes TMAs, smart bias tees, cabinet replacements, radio replacements, diplexers, cables, the usual to accompany this type of scope. This application constitutes an eligible facilities request per the FCC's regulations, section 6409, and does not constitute a substantial change to the tower. The application materials that were submitted to you contain construction drawings, passing structural analysis report, passing at 27.4%, so plenty of capacity. Compliant cumulative radio frequency emissions analysis report coming in at 0.33%. That's way under the FCC's general population exposure limit. And so that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Yep. And I think that we had the review done on that, and basically the only thing that was asked and requested was that the site be put back the way it was, meaning if the gravel's torn up and whatever, you're gonna put it back better, if not, as well, if not better than what it was when you started. I think that was the only request that the consultant had. Go ahead, Mike, you have a question?
Yeah.
I can tell.
Is that obvious? And, I don't have a site plan, but are they within 100 feet of a wetland there? I think they may be.
Yeah, well, he requests that they put, hay bales and.
Right, there's
and all
walls and
that.
hay bills.
Doesn't mention anything
Yeah.
about, the Conservation Commission, and to do that, they need to go get an order of conditions.
Okay,
Are you
well,
within 100 feet of the wetland?
No, Mr. Chairman, through you, we are not. And additionally, the work that is proposed does not trigger any changes or effects to stormwater or drainage or anything of that nature. It's really all contained within the compound and will be matched, as you said, with the gravel as is.
Correct, but the regulation, the way I understand it, is you would still have to file for a determination of applicability if you were compound. Have you done that?
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
through this requirement, it doesn't trigger any conservation at all. It's an eligible facilities request, it's a by right application. It's literally basically swapping out equipment.
Well, Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
if you're working on a road and putting gravel down and it's associated to the wetlands, then you would need a determination. But, just saying.
yeah,
I didn't see any information from our engineer on that, so I also didn't see a plan, a site plan, of, how close they were from the wetlands, but my recollection of being down there, that doesn't show you.
yeah. Well,
wanna
go
verify.
ahead, no, that's fine.
Just wanna verify
Good,
that.
that's a good point. The other thing is with all the telecommunication stuff, because of the Dover Act, there's a lot of stuff that they are able to sidestep, and if they're not really doing any specific, work in that area, you know what I mean, we could be raising more issues, we could be creating more issues for ourselves than it would be worth. Point well taken to your point, but, yeah,
Camille, maybe you can just check with your chair, have them take a walk down there, if they're gonna redo the road, if they're gonna put any gravel, to get to that.
well, the gravel was our request on that. If they disturbed the area, was to replace it. That was the town's request to basically, redo that lot for us.
I understand,
Yeah,
the regulation.
yeah, no, I got it. Like I said, I'm not arguing with you. I know you're all about the rules, so that's why.
And Mr. Chairman, if
Go
I
ahead.
may, the comment that the engineer mentioned about the gravel was specific to within the existing compound.
Correct.
So it's remained as crushed stone, it will remain as that is with the changes.
Yeah, hold on,
It's in Mike's comment letter,
All right.
number 3
hold on.
from GCG.
This one's it, we're just gonna look at the.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
With the straw wattles and all that, yeah.
That, Mr. Chairman, when I read that triggered
Yeah.
the mindset of the compound.
How much, well, there's a question here is, it's kind of like with, just as a question, lead paint, is it, if they doing under, 10 square feet, how much disturbance for within the comp, if they do, I'm just asking the question.
Right.
If they're doing, like, if we're doing lead, if you're under a certain square footage, is it minimal? Or how much excavation's gonna go within the compound?
There's no excavation, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so they're basically replacing the gravel so we could, we're putting them in harm's way, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're saying, hey, you have to do this, and then we're saying, oh, well, that creates a problem, so we've created the problem.
Okay, so, as my point,
Yeah,
somebody could say that, hey, that falls under 310 CMR. They need at least to file a determination of applicability, and we don't as a town when we require everybody else to do it. So what I'm saying is to look at it, to see if it does require a determination of applicability. And I don't see our engineer's report saying it doesn't. So that's why I raised the question.
no, and I understand that, but
And
going
I just wanna
backward, going
make sure that
backwards.
We're all
right.
treating everybody fair.
No, and that's fair enough.
Even the town.
Going backwards, if we hadn't brought up that comment of restoring the gravel, which they could argue the point, we're gonna bring trucks in, we're gonna change the equipment, we're going to not to do anything, they're driving on the site. Would we require them to do a determination with the Concom to drive their trucks on the site?
No.
Okay, so then that's my question.
So wait a minute, no, not to answer your question, but that's not the point I'm trying to make.
Right,
The point I'm trying to make is the engineer said they need straw wattles to protect the
Right.
environment. My question is, okay, if they have to do that, are they near any wetlands? Are they do they fall within the Wetlands Protection Act? It's not our purview to say yes or no, but if they do, I want to make sure that the Concom needs to look at it, they need to look at it. They can simply, if they do fall within their jurisdiction, they can say, no, they don't. At least they had it addressed. Because if this was a construction site, if you were building your own house, if you were doing some work next to a wetland within 100 feet or 200 feet of a res bill, you'd be required to go see the Concom. That's all I'm saying.
No, but, yeah, go ahead, no, go ahead. I think we're going, here.
Yeah, just to intercede, I know GCG has done some reviews for the Conservation Commission recently, and I typically, if the engineer has any questions about needing Concom approval, they typically will put it in their review. I'm not saying whether or not Mike did, but I'm saying maybe we can check with Mike Carter to see if
That
they
was
did
my
in
next
fact look
question.
at that.
Can we send Mike Carter
Yeah.
an email to see if it falls within the jurisdiction?
Absolutely, because I think he would have caught that, but we certainly can follow up with him to see in his review if he thought that that was necessary.
If you talk to him, you can say, Mike Giampietro saw the word straw water, so that triggered this whole conversation.
Okay, no, I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, that's,
That's fair.
yeah, fair enough. Okay, so where do we go from the, go ahead, Jim.
I also have a question. Talking with the police and fire chief, I'm the DPW director in the town also. In our communication in this area, we have a dead zone. It's completely dead in that area. And the question, maybe it's a little late to the party, but is there any way that we could add more, an antenna for our communications, or even in the very near future, to address those issues?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I think that's probably something that needs to be discussed with real estate at Crown Castle, because that will also affect what RAD that would go on, and if the shroud is going to be different or needs to be changed. So there, and then structural as well. So there's a whole pecking order involved with this. So it's
Right, Mr. Chair, I wasn't asking for your approval tonight. I was just asking if you could bring that back to them as a discussion. I mean, this is something we're requesting, and your permit is coming up in a very few short years that, for renewal, and maybe that should be addressed then. I'm not asking for you to make a decision tonight, but if you don't want to bring it back and ask it, I'll take that back to the two chiefs and let them know that. Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I'm not the party that makes any of these decisions. That's a whole other department. But I would definitely recommend that there be some engagement with real estate with Crown Castle, especially if the lease is coming up in 4 years. And then those parties can discuss that and work it out.
Okay, so you'd be able to get Crown Castle to reach back to the town on pushing that forwards? Is it what you're saying?
If you're asking me
Yes.
to put a liaison out to reach to your
We are
town
asking,
manager?
yes.
I can do that.
Okay, that'd be great. I think that would be helpful.
I think that's all I was asking.
Yep, no,
No
that's
worries.
fine. And then, so going on the question with asking the engineer to take a look at the determination for the wetlands, what would we do with that?
Condition.
We could do this as a condition? Yeah, okay. So we just said it's a condition. Okay. Okay, that works for me. Yeah. No, fair enough. Okay, good. Were there any other questions? Okay, good. So I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and then I make a motion to approve the modification of the tower with the condition that it is reviewed by the engineer to see if there's any determination that needs to happen with the Concom.
Second.
All right, motion's made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. All right, we made it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
thank you.
And I will follow up with real estate department regarding the request for the dead zone equipment.
Yep, no, that's great.
And just to let you know, I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, T-Mobile is the only carrier on that tower. So I don't know if that has any bearing.
I don't know, that's a
know,
good question.
But it could.
Yep.
But I think, were you in representing another one not that long ago?
I was here,
1073 Main.
yes, I was here
1073 Main, yeah.
3 months ago
Yeah.
for another site.
And I believe we have that on there. There is a repeater, something on that. That's-
Okey dokey, great, well, thanks so much.
Thank you, have a good night.
Okay, all right. Next item on the agenda would be special permit with site plan approval modification, public hearing for 1073 Main Street, Next Grid solar installation.
Town of Millis, Office of the Planning Board, notice of public hearing. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 48, Section 11, Mass General Law, the Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, at 7:50 PM in the Veterans Memorial Building, room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application of Michael Pattison, Millis Solar LLC, Next Grid, 68 Harrison Ave, Suite 605, private mailbox number 73069, Boston, Mass. 02111. Requesting a modification amendment to special permit site plan approval under Section 21, large-scale ground-mounted solar photovoltaic installation, and Section 13C of the zoning bylaw of the Town of Millis for amendments to update the carport-mounted solar array and modify existing drain and pipe locations for property located at 1073 Main Street, Millis, Mass., map 22, lot 1, parcel owned by AC Millis LLC. Copy of the application and site plan is on file in the office of the town clerk and on the planning board's webpage. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the application should appear at the time and place designated. Richard Nichols, Chair.
All right, and this is the solar field that started a little prematurely in their enthusiasm to get started. So they're back in with, we had the engineer take a peek at it, and they made some modifications to the plan, which they'll present to us now. And if you could just identify who's presenting again, if you don't mind, thank you.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Mike Pattison. I'm here for NextGrid / AC Millis LLC. We are here requesting for a modification to our existing special permit and site plan to show basically the finalized designs for the footings, which were not shown in the original plan, as well as changing the location of the stormwater drain. So if you look at page C3.1, this is going to show obviously the change of...
They're gonna ask you to take the microphone up with you. If
sorry.
you pick it up, you can just bring it with you.
Sorry. Struggling today. So we, due to the location of one of the footings over here, while they were digging for it, they noticed the stormwater drain, which I believe is like a 12-inch concrete pipe. So we were requesting to have it relocated. And then one of the comments that came back from Beta was they had some concern of basically the connection points as well as its proximity to the foundation. So our idea was, our engineer came up was just to move it completely out of the way and then have better connection points, as you can see. So it basically goes straight on and then connects back down. Basically avoid the footings as well as to have a better flow. They had also requested that we put the elevation of the lip of the manhole as well as the invert. So that was included in it as well to show that. So there's that. Any questions for the storm? Okay. And then oh, yes, and I apologize. So Beta did point out some excellent points. There was some of the foundations that were actually encroaching in on the proposed 20-foot wide access route. So it was primarily these two on the western side. So what we did was we just moved them up, I'm gonna say probably 5 to 8 feet, which got them out of the access way and also still kept it clear up here. And then they did also note that the 20-foot was being encroached on by a couple of the spread footings here. So what we did is we moved the electrical equipment and battery equipment pad a little bit north, and then just moved the access point north as well. So that way it continues to flow. It actually flows better, because then it's not, before it was kind of curved in and then went up. So now it just flows straight around the top and then out. Also flows around the bottom, the southern portion as well, and that is completely clear. And then they brought up a couple questions as well. There was shown, there are some old utility lights that, for back when, my understanding, it was a parking lot. They asked if those are gonna remain. Those will be removed. There's currently no proposed lighting here.
And they also asked if there was any parking, which you said there was no parking
There's
to
no
be
parking,
planned.
there's no
right.
plan for parking.
Yep.
Yeah, at this point, there's no plans for it. Now, in the future, if somebody decides, if the owners decide to rent it out.
That'll be done in the future.
Exactly.
All right, good. So I think that went through and addressed that. Also, that the applicant has worked with the cemetery commissioner to work on screening, so that was taken care of this week, I believe, Jim?
That's correct, yes.
Yep.
We're all set.
Actually, oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
yep.
I just wanted to let you know, I sent you the contact
Yes, I got it.
information, you received it, okay. They also sent me a quick diagram of what the fence would look like.
you
I
can send
requested they upgrade it, because my understanding was you guys wanted black with green slats.
It's actually black fencing with brown.
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 Okay, that's
Yep.
good to know.
All right.
Apologize.
All right, so that was basically the changes that were made. Were there any questions from the board?
Beta's reviewing.
Right. So Beta is gonna review the proposed changes. So, let's see here, we'd have to, this is a public hearing, so, if there's no other questions, are there no other questions? Okay, I make a motion to close the public hearing,
No, we have to
continue,
Until GCG does their review,
okay,
because they just got it yesterday.
okay.
Is it possible, I mean, we basically just agreed to everything they asked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's possible if we could get approval with conditions upon their approval.
Well, it's just, no. Well,
I defer to you guys.
Okay.
I mean,
Go ahead.
they would prepare a decision and everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Recommend go to Beta first.
okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
All right, no, that's fine, okay. No, we're gonna go to the engineer. I know what you were looking for, but to cover all our bases, we need to get it to our consulting engineer to make sure that everything is hunky-dory. So, I make a motion to continue the public hearing.
Second.
All right,
To October 7th at 7:30 PM.
October 7th at 7:30 PM. All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all right. All set, so we'll see you in October.
Okay,
Yep.
and then I believe we have a meeting with you on the 15th.
No, he's not the building
Oh,
commissioner.
no.
My apologies.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
not anymore. No,
My condolences or congratulations.
both.
Since you're now an Evelyn.
All right, great, well, thank you. All right. Next item on the agenda, and we're slightly behind schedule, but that's okay. We have a Form A&R application for 140 Causeway Street, Windy Knob Farm LLC Division. And this is in a public hearing, so we don't have to read anything. Yep. All right. Hi, if you could do us a favor and identify yourself, that would be great.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Oh, and your microphone too, sorry, yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. A pleasure to be here this evening. My name is Rob Knappich, and I'm appearing on behalf of the applicant, 296 Main LLC. With me is Jack Meehan of 296 Main LLC. And as set forth in the plan and the application, and as you mentioned, this is a Form A, approval not required plan. And this plan divides property located on Causeway Street, which is known as Assessor's Map 13 9F, comprising approximately 146 acres, into 3 lots. Lots 1 of about 73 acres, Lot 2 of about 30 acres, and Lot 3 of about 42 acres. The property is in the residential T zoning district, which, if I recall, requires 200 feet of frontage. It's on the plan, actually. The residential town zoning district requires, yes, 200 feet of frontage and 60,000 square feet of area, or a little over an acre. Each of these lots, as you can see, does have the minimum frontage of 200 feet on Causeway Street, a public way, and each of these lots has well in excess of that 200 feet of frontage. I believe that the plan, because it complies with zoning and your subdivision rules, it meets the requirement for endorsement, and we respectfully request that you do so.
So the only question we brought up earlier is the paper road that's on there. That isn't even there, because I lived across the street from there. So that will, and you said that will never be developed?
It sure seems unlikely. It's a very odd situation. I looked at the title, and the road was created in, I think, the 40s or 50s by act of the county before.
A taking.
Yes, the
Yes.
taking, correct. And if you look at the plan, the paper street, as you say, is in the location shown on the plan. If you look at the instrument of taking, there's this sort of language that where the county government says, well, the selectmen in Millis sort of didn't get around to creating this road, so we're doing it. And it exists on paper. It's not improved. It's not constructed. It's little more than a pathway. There's no intention to construct it. Not sure what the purpose would be. It doesn't really, it's not needed for access to anything, so there is no intention to construct that road.
I just want to follow, is that the one that goes beside the clay pit, that goes up to Medway? Is that the,
To Pine Valley?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I'm just curious to.
It does go
Is that-
all,
It goes across onto the property across the street. It goes all the way over to Bogastow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they used to be, you've probably walked it before. Yeah. So, no, we're just asking, so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll get stuck in there.
well, they
Yeah,
actually,
You will.
yeah, in the 80s, they actually had a bunch of Jeeps that went down there and destroyed the bridge, because it used to be more open back in the day.
Yeah.
All right, well, there's nothing that I had that jumped out. Those are the two questions that we had.
Chair?
Earlier, go ahead.
Am I missing something on this lot 2? Because I'm looking, didn't that frontage line say 113.85 feet instead of, and the requirement of frontage is 200?
yes, you're right. That is one of the partial distances. So Lot 2, like the other lots, has a number of segments along Causeway Street. And Lot 2 is comprised of 2 segments, one of 113.83 feet and the other of 112.4 feet, which of course total more than 200 feet.
Right, no, I was just, I guess because I can't, my eyes on, I couldn't find the 112. Oh, is that, oh, you don't have your glasses on either. Below it? Okay. All right, thank you.
Sure.
No, it's good. It's a good question. Yep. All right. Were there any other questions from the board? Nope. All right. With that being said, I make a motion that we approve the A&R for the division of property at 140 Causeway Street.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Right, congrats. Last
Thank
time I
you.
saw you, you were in your red boots in my backyard with your dad,
Yeah.
and you were about 5,
Was
so.
I selling eggs?
No, you were out in the back, looking for somebody or whatever, yeah, so, but anyhow, good to see you again.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we can sign that before we
Is it
go.
okay to take the
Yeah,
Mylar?
well, we haven't signed them all, but we can go ahead and sign those right now. So
Okay.
we're gonna take a quick break and sign.
Thank you. I got to say, I've been sitting here,
Didn't
and
we sign it?
you're a model of efficiency. I'm very impressed how much work you got.
Thank you very much.
I think I stopped.
Jack.
Nice to meet you. Cole Ryan.
Hi, Alan Hammer.
Pleasure.
Is this Leon's property where they set the Christmas lights?
Yes, that's our property.
Nice piece of
Jim
work.
McKay. Jack, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Jack, very nice to meet you. Thank you guys very much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
We already signed those.
I will.
Already signed those.
We'll find out. Michael, no.
Couple more mentions.
No, I can only go.
Yep, and nice to meet you. Yeah.
There's only one building. Everything else is.
You've probably driven by.
Who started this? You signed in the wrong spot.
Thank you for.
Yeah, no, it's always.
the wrong spot. Signed that in the revisions section.
I see. Does it matter? It's okay. I think you
Is
can
that
pop this.
okay?
Well,
Makes it more
Who signed the
exciting.
wrong
so-
spot?
no, here, give me that.
Who signed the wrong spot?
Yeah, I think that would be best because.
We have to sign up there, but I'm just, is that gonna?
Nah,
Okay.
it's a no.
Huh?
Thank you.
It'll make Rusty.
Anyone does,
It'll
thank
make,
you.
it'll make Rusty.
All right, good. Yeah.
It'll
so-
make Rusty
Yeah,
question.
see, that's cleared up.
Oh, yeah.
Get him, I'll get him.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of problems.
That back here.
But he's gonna do that
Yeah.
part of it, copy, right?
Yeah.
That was because when the boys.
Yeah, he actually did.
Yeah, well, let's wait till these are
I
all.
read the bylaws, you can go right up to the property
Guys.
line.
You have to come sign
Yeah,
this
no,
plan
we-
again, because
we,
you signed in the
we
wrong
actually put-
place.
you
It
should
has
get
to be
it.
up top.
Yeah, I can see it.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we put trees, basically like trees down as a fence.
Yeah,
And it looks really beautiful.
Yeah,
Looks good.
yes.
So,
We gotta
yeah,
re-sign
so,
that.
Good, all right, well,
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Appreciate it. Very nice to meet you.
All right. And you've been up there too?
Oh, I've been stuck in the mud all day.
Nothing, farmland.
Me and Warren
Yeah,
cut back
we got
there.
cows
Yeah,
now,
whoa,
so-
we're stuck right there.
Yeah, little cattle farm. If you guys ever wanna see the cattle farm, just,
I've already.
contact us and I'll give you a ride around the property.
I feel like I-
Yeah, yeah. Surprised they're not at your house right now.
That's just the Mylar.
All right. Okey dokey. Alright, so we did that. Okay, general code up where that and minutes, and we're good.
The only thing is here, you have to
Oh,
recommend to the select board.
Right.
GCG is
Why
more.
don't you stop by and see what we're doing so?
Yeah, well, sounds good, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you wanna grab my cell phone number? Sure.
Hold on, get the, here. Yes, ma'am.
Get over here
Hold on, I have to sign something.
and the right place.
Yeah, all right.
Is the
Yeah, I'll
Mylar
give you a
all
ring back, I
signed?
appreciate it.
Yeah.
What did I not sign? Oh, we did them all?
6 other copies.
The Mylar up above has to be signed up top.
I did.
You did?
I
Did
did.
you, Mike?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but you didn't sign
The
all
other
these
ones.
other ones.
I did, on the bottom.
Oh,
Do I have to do them at the top too?
yeah.
I'll be last.
Top two.
Since I started it.
Now, who was the one that signed first down the
Well,
bottom?
I called it out longest name.
I just followed.
The only one.
You know, the monkey fell out of the tree?
That would be great.
He's dead. Oh, I had the second monkey fell out of the tree? Peer pressure. Actually, he was dead too. The third on top was peer pressure.
Boy, you've been watching too much Facebook.
Yeah, that's.
Where are you, Bowers?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
We've got about 11 or 12 now.
I see that.
Yep. So there's some dry areas across the street, maybe we'll get some, fenced in area. The trail the loggers made. Yeah.
seriously, I drive by and they stare at me, and I'm up my afternoon, I run the DPW. So
Yeah.
I drive up there and I just sit there and stare at them.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, there's blueberries out there too, because my father used to mow that. My
Yeah.
father was your next door neighbor.
We would pick them, yeah. So your father was the arborist?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was. Falling chair.
Yeah, just don't touch the fence.
No, I don't get out of the car, I'm gonna be afraid they'd come after me.
No, you'll get electrocuted.
Yeah.
My
I'd
dad
be
goes,
afraid
touch the
of
fence.
somebody
That's it.
videotaping me running down Causeway Street.
You go, hey, bud, you wanna see if the fence works? So I go, yeah, sure, he goes, grab it.
No, you can see it, you can see the wire. No, I think it does, but I know you can see the wire right there.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Night.
Okey dokey. All right, we survived that, okay. All right, next item on the agenda. Let's see if we're back. I think we're still on.
Never left.
Oh, we never left,
Never
okay.
left.
After the brief respite there. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is, we need to, the vote to send the proposed zoning map amendment article, special flood hazard district, updated FEMA maps to the select board for a referral. So the FEMA updated the flood maps and sent them out, and basically, we need to send them to the select board to approve at the town meeting to be in compliant with the federal regulations. So I make a motion that we send those forward to the select board to put on the fall
No,
town.
to send back.
Send back
Planning board.
to this point, to send back to the planning board.
Second.
That's confusing. All right,
So we can overhear and.
Well, you just have to read it.
okay,
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I'm sure we're gonna have people at the hearing.
yes,
We're
well,
definitely gonna have people at the hearing.
oh, I agree, yeah.
GCG is currently working on a draft. We don't have it yet, but we should have it in time for the public hearing. They're working on the draft zoning map amendment for the FEMA maps.
And yes, they are, the select board is going to challenge it, but for now, the way that because we went back and forth with town council, we have to put it forwards to the select board, and we have to vote on it because they have to basically appeal, we have to approve the law, then appeal it, is the way it has to work, so. We make a motion, so I make a motion to send it to the select board to send back to us. Yes, correct. Do I have a second on that? All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right. And yes, the select board is going to argue the map layout. It was pretty aggressive on what they put in on that, so. So, all right, next item on the agenda is general,
You can kind of skip that. We're kind of in a holding pattern unless you want to.
no, I just wanted to update. Yeah, so update on the, we talked in the last meeting about getting the software so that all the bylaws and everything could be digitized and people could go online and look them up and they'd be accurate and they would be done by a subcontractor. So any change that we made wouldn't require exhaustive work, just to update our book, because the way we do it right now is antiquated and patched. They presented that last night, or Monday night, sorry, Nicole presented, it was Monday night, yeah. Nicole presented that to the select board.
Jim and I.
If you want to give them
sent it
an
to the select board. Select board is in favor of purchase of the software and updating both all three, the zoning bylaws, the general bylaws, and the home rule charter. There was a question last night simply as to whether or not we were supposed to go to CPC first, but then it was determined that the purchase price of this software is $16,500, and the CPC minimum threshold is $20,000. so we don't have to go to CPC. So the next step will be that we will get on the FinCom's agenda, present it to them so that, and then Select Board will put it forward on a warrant.
All right, and this would be a good thing for the town to have that taken care of. It'll be a definite benefit for the town and all the residents, so that's good. Thank you for getting that done. Next item on the agenda was the approval for the minutes from August 5th. So I make a motion that we approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and I don't believe we have any bills.
Nope. Oh, well, you just have to sign your paperwork.
Okay, all right,
Just
go ahead.
one quick thing, I didn't know if you wanted to do it now or later. There's a draft from Beta for the 13 Environmental Drive decision. Did you want to go over that and discuss that at all, or just accept it as is, as drafted by GCG? I mean, as it's drafted by Beta.
That would be the one that we wanted to go back and, that's the cell tower. That was the one that we wanted to have so is everyone okay with the decision minus we would add we already put the condition in?
Clarification.
Yeah, so that's all done.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we're good. Okay, I think that was it.
Do you want to just schedule November?
Yeah,
We have October 7th,
I'm out of town, just so you know.
and I can't do the 4th.
Okay.
And the 11th is a holiday, so I have.
All right, so November, hold on, calendar. November. We're not gonna do Thanksgiving.
Can we do the 18th?
18th?
We already have November 4th scheduled.
I sent an email, I can't do the.
Oh,
okay,
let's do
you're
the
right, I'm
18th.
sorry.
Yeah, okay. 18th, we'll do the 18th, that sounds fine.
Does the 18th work for everyone?
Don't have a choice.
Okay.
If you're not here, none of us are here.
All right, good. All right, and with that, unless there's anything else, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, motion's been made, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, good night, everybody. Thank you.
All right.